minor tenths. The ending notes, the G's and the C's, get held by some of the winds in the background. And then after 2 or 3 of those, you grab onto one of them, this G here, and you start that theme that you just played a moment ago, this guy here. Right? So everything kind of just flowers out from this background.
Boy, talk about raising the bar high. Your first concerto, and you're creating a new genre for the concerto.
Well, let's hope so. I like the idea very much, and I think, you know, I mean, for 2 reasons. One is that we're using a chamber orchestra. So in a sense, everybody, all the 17 players, at some point in this piece, gets to play a duet with you, where they're put out in front and featured as a soloist, very much like you would do in a concerto for orchestra, except that they're duets. But the thing that I'm really excited about, something I've never tried in any of my music before, is what I'm just calling a parallel narrative. And it's a technique that I've seen a lot in film in the past 10 or 15 years, a lot of the novels I've read, in which you're telling the story sort of simultaneously in the present and the past. So what I've done here is I've written a piece that has 4 main movements with you and the ensemble, and then as interludes, a series of duets with you and a featured player, one with the wind player, one with the brass player, one with the percussionist, and then the piece is going to end with you playing a solo.
So between each movement, there's an interlude where I am in a duet with someone,
right?
And that takes into the next big movement.
Exactly,
That's brilliant.
And the thing that I really like about it is that the material that I use for the duets is a separate set of material that's different from the music in the orchestral movement. So there really is a sense of 2 narratives taking place.
What I love is that it's so sad. Oh my God, it's so sad. I don't know how that was in terms of what you imagined.
No, it's very close. Yeah, it's very close, and it's just something that's been, you know, it's been in my mind for about a decade. And as I said, I thought of it in connection to a really lovely poem, and I've just never gotten around to that piece. And I'm thinking about your playing and beautiful sound and the lyrical quality that you bring. And I remembered this melody, and I said, well, let me start with this, and you know, I wound up with a 5-minute adagio. Well, the title of the whole concerto is called "The Sea Longing."
The Sea Longing. Oh, I like it.
Which is something from Tolkien's Lord of the Rings that I read probably 10 years ago.
Okay.
And just the phrase "the sea longing" and the little poetic description that he has about the sea. Actually, I'll always begin. Well, no, I'm sorry. You begin on the downbeat.
I see. Can we try there again?
Yeah, let's start from here. You come on the A flat, and let's get.
If it just keeps going.
Yeah, we go somewhere in there.
I'm sure I can.
All right,
so right on that espresso.
Yeah,
okay.
You do the A flat, and I'll come in. Double stops work. I'm happy about that.
I totally guessed.
I like what you get going through
So
it. But
describe the architecture of the piece.
I'm actually really excited about the structure of the piece more than anything else. We hit on this idea of what I'm calling now a duet concerto. And I think we might have spawned a new genre here, kind of like Bartók did with Concerto for Orchestra. And that somehow led to one of us talking about you playing duets with people. Wouldn't that be a neat idea for a concerto?
Yeah.
And so I just kind of went with that. I mean, it's kind of fun to hear you as a traditional orchestral concerto soloist, and then to hear you playing these very more intimate chamber music duets.
Yeah.
The first one's with alto flute.
Excellent.
The second one's
I
with
love
marimba.
the alto flute.
Yeah, marimba's number 2, and the third one's going to be with straight muted trumpet.
Wow. So a duet with marimba,
Yeah.
alto flute, and trumpet.
Yeah, with a straight mute, and you're probably going to do some ponticello playing with the
Oh,
trumpet.
excellent.
So there's this very metallic timbre in the third duet.
So you're really tapping into all the colors of the viola, combining it with unusual pairings
Right.
of instruments.